We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cupixel Studio. Welcome to another fun live. My name is Hayley.
And I'm a lad.
We think.
Yeah, I know. This time I know. Last time I thought, this time I know. I'm a lad. How's it going, everyone? Really excited to be here. I'm by coincidence here. I was not supposed to be here.
But we had so much fun last week that we thought, let's do it again. Let's bring our founding father back. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Yesterday I celebrated 47. 47. It's quite a number.
Yeah. You're getting up there.
You know that 47 is the quintessential random number?
Is it really?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Like when someone says, like, think of a number. It's
47?
47 will be the first?
Really?
Nice.
Don't you have 47 tattooed on you?
I do.
Yeah.
You have the number 47?
He's so excited
You
about your
tattooed
birthday.
my birthday.
Yeah, I
He's
was
so
so
excited.
excited.
Unbelievable.
Next
I was
year,
so excited like 4 or 5 years ago I got it because I knew it was going to be your 47th birthday.
Yeah, at some point, right?
At some point it's going to be
Yeah,
47.
next year you'll get 48.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'll get one on my forehead for your 50th.
The big 5-0.
The big 5-0. So, yes, happy belated birthday to our founding father. Happy early birthday to America, and most importantly, happy Watercolor Month. We are going to be doing some watercolor in honor of World Watercolor Month and in honor of our July challenge. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. But something that we're doing today would be perfect for this challenge.
Right.
That challenge is just create an artwork with watercolor. And today we're gonna do a simple landscape. Last week, Alad showed me his favorite style, his favorite approach to creating. Now I'm gonna switch gears here and I'm gonna lead. I'm gonna show you one of my favorites. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, a foreign medium to you.
Yeah, so Shirley asked me before this class not to say that I don't like watercolor and I don't like scenery, and we're gonna do both today as part of my healing process.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
I think
exposure
47. It's a good day to start something new.
It's a good day to grow up.
Yeah, I agree. So actually,
It's a good day to get over yourself.
Yeah, we got it last time on the class. Hayley said I'm going to be here alone next week. I'm going to watercolor, and I said I don't know watercolor, and I'm not going to join because I don't want to join things that I'm not good at. And she said, you know what? You should. And we talked about it earlier this week, and I said, you know what? Let's do it. So yeah, really, it's not a joke. This is the first time ever I've ever done watercolor. First time ever I'm doing a scenery thing. I always go with portraits and always go with funky abstract things, and on top of the abstract there's always something that you can recognize, and it's never a scenery. So I'm really excited. So, joke aside, I'm quite nervous because I've never done it, and I think it's gonna be fun. So any tips from you guys? I think people here can give me some tips.
Yeah, I see a couple comments. Let me check these out here. Yeah. Copper Cat is here and ready to go. Hello,
she's back.
Copper Cat. We've missed you.
Yeah,
Polefly is here ready to paint. Hello, Polefly. Hello, Donna Marie. The Donna Marie.
The Donna Marie, yeah.
The Carrie. Hi, all. And finally, Alad, you can't escape watercolor. You heard it here first, folks. You definitely can't. Couldn't have said it better myself, Carrie. We're ready to witness in real time Alad fall in love with a new medium. Copper Cat says, you're my age, Alad. Not so bad, really.
Wow,
in that case, not at all. In that case.
Yeah, I'm in a good group.
Yeah. Donna Marie said, happy belated, Alad. And Carrie said, Hayley, you did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I sure did.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good time to introduce our two friends here. We are joined by the one and only Nick Acevedo.
Thank you.
We missed you, Nick. How was your vacation?
Oh, we missed you. We missed you too. I have multiple personalities.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was good, I spent a lot of time around family and extended family. So it was like, after like 4 days, it didn't really feel like a vacation anymore. So this almost feels like the actual vacation. But
yeah.
No,
it's always like that.
It was fun. It was nice hanging out. But there's only so many desserts you can eat, so many drinks you can drink,
This is fair.
And it just starts piling back up on you.
That's
it
fair.
turns on you a little bit.
It turns, for sure.
I know this is here.
Who else is here? We've got Tamar once again.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
If you joined us in our last 2 live experiences, you might recognize Tamar, but Tamar is our first and newest intern here at the Cupixel studio, so she is going to be letting us know if we got any comments or questions in spaces, and gonna be getting some behind the scenes shots.
Tamar, jump in anytime.
Yep,
You see
anytime.
something is important. Yeah, I'm ready.
Speaking of jumping in, let's go over the materials that we're using, and then we actually will jump in.
Let's go.
We've got watercolor paper. We've got it taped down for a nice border and so that our papers stay at bay. And this dark background is quite literally just so this tape does not stick to the table, by the way. So this helps keep the paper at bay and helps you also recognize the paper, but if you have tape, you will not need a dark background for Smart Trace. Speaking of Smart Trace, I got my device stand ready in front of me, ready to go. I've got my watercolor paints. Alad and I are using the same watercolor paint palette.
That's good.
This
Very
is
cute.
Winsor & Newton. It's really good. This was in the sketch box, but I actually have this palette at home. It's a
Nice.
good palette, very good. So any watercolor form you have is great. I've got some spray water just to activate my paints. I've got some brushes, various sizes. Does not mean you need all of them. I have said it once, I'll say it again and again. Something like this that is thick and fluffy, but also tapered is the perfect kind of brush for that. So you've got a couple of the same brushes in different sizes. I gave you more options because it's your first time. I'll let you kind of play around. I can almost guarantee I'm gonna be using this same brush almost the whole
the time? Okay.
Unless I wanna do some fine lines like this. Got some paper towels and of course water, if I didn't mention that already, a pencil for tracing and an eraser, just in case. So, let's jump in. Let's go to the artwork tab and you'll see this very simple scenic photo. We're going to be using this as our reference or jumping off point. But if you look at my samples here, they don't look anything like the photo. So we're gonna get kind of creative with this and just kind of use this composition as our starting off point. So let's select that and we'll head to trace. And all 4 corners visible and in frame. The app can recognize my paper and superimpose right onto it. And you can zoom in, you can leave it as is, but what I'm gonna do, I'll be tracing for maybe 45 seconds. I'm going to kind of follow this horizon line. It doesn't need to be perfect. And I see,
Oh, you start with the horizon?
yeah.
I did the bushes on the
You did?
lower
So
part.
you're gonna add the bushes. I might not add the bushes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I might
Uh-oh.
not. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want.
No, my mother always told me, listen to the teacher before you start. I'm like, why? So my mom is not gonna be happy about what I've just
Yeah.
done.
So 47.
Yeah,
you're still.
and I'm still not listening. It's not okay.
But as you're tracing, and as
Okay.
you're tracing quite like you're following everything.
Right.
You don't need to. If you look closely, you'll see that there's like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right,
5
right.
hills, like 5 layers to these hills or mountains. Let's simplify. I'm gonna make 3. And I'm not gonna have them kind of separate in the water. I'll have there be one consistent horizon like this.
Okay.
So you see how in the picture right here, you see how it's kind of separates.
Right. You're not gonna do it?
Not gonna do that. Let's simplify and let's just create one straight horizon line.
Okay. Oh, so you really simplified.
Yeah. So this is, I think, helpful if you have like your own scenic photo that you want to recreate. Sometimes nature's a lot, and there's a lot going on, and so you want to kind of capture the essence, the beauty of your landscape or your scene from a photo, but you get overwhelmed at all the details. You can simplify in this way. So I'm just gonna, I'll straighten out my horizon line later, but what else could I trace in here? I could trace the grass or the trees in the front, or I can have the water continue all the way down and add some stuff in later with paint. Whatever you'd prefer. Alad's gonna I think you're gonna do the grass in the front.
Yeah,
are
I
you?
did the grass. Maybe I'll delete.
I don't think so. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
It might be easier for you actually
To
because
start with
that
it. Yeah, it's a.
well, not step. You'd finish with that. We'll get into it.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the moon here, I'm not going to trace that. I think, you know, if you were to have like a masking fluid or something that you can easily paint over and then remove, then a moon would be easy to paint. But I think with the sky, we want to create a lot of movement. Maybe some clouds, a nice gradient, busy sunset, and it would be quite difficult to leave a moon blank. So I'm not going to include a moon or anything like that. This is quite literally all I'm going to trace.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put my phone to the side, Nick, if that's cool with you. And then I'll just have spaces opened.
Yeah, me too. Let's see if there are questions.
Checking out comments. Carrie said, this made me feel better after a bad weekend. I'm so sorry you had a bad weekend, but we are here to make it all better.
Yeah, it's gonna be perfect now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bobo is here. Howdy, y'all. Hello, Bobo. Thank you so much for joining.
Hey.
Carrie said, ooh, I have the Winsor & Newton, yay. And then Coppercat as well. I was frantically unwrapping those paints when I saw you're using them, hoping you would chat long enough. Tell me about it, Coppercat, because I actually had Tamar, you can speak to this as well. We got 2 from Sketchbox. Shirley and I opened one last week and we were cracking up at, like, it was Fort Knox, this thing. So we had Tamar, our gracious intern, unwrap the second one. And yeah, we've all been there, but we'll keep it nice and slow for you, Coppercat, give you some time to catch up. We'll do something very simple, which will just be, you know, starting the sky, and I'll let you know what colors I use. But I'm just cleaning up my horizon line. I'm gonna try to straighten it out a bit. It's a bit wonky.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take off one line. It's one line too much.
Because if you have a lot of areas where there's like separation, small areas,
It's gonna be tough.
it's gonna be tough because watercolor is a difficult medium to control, especially for your first time. But once you get the hang of it, it's so much fun. And I'm still learning too. I'm still learning with watercolor as well. I think that's important to mention. All right, so I've got 3 mountains, a horizon line, and that's all I'm going off of. Let's get into it. I'm gonna bring my palette in here.
This is the moment I should be nervous.
Nope. I don't think you should be nervous. I think you should be excited and ready to go. We do have a scrap paper if we want to test our colors, but we're going to be using just the inside of the palette to mix colors and whatnot. I'm going to take some water just to activate the paints a little bit more than my brush can. And then I'm going to start in the sky.
Oh, sky first?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll start from the top, so we can do the sky, then we'll do the water, then we can go back to the sky if we need to, or we can go into the mountains. But it's all about letting one area dry before you go back in and paint an area close by.
Okay.
So let's wet our brushes. You don't want too much water, so go like this on the side. Well, you don't want to dry it off. You want it to be enough water.
Oh, okay.
You don't want it sopping wet. You see what I mean?
I got it.
You brush to a nice point like this. And let's start with like a blue. Let's do like a gradient sunset. We'll do blue at the top. We'll make our way down to a yellowish orange color.
Got it.
So let's dip into cerulean blue, this color here. And right at the top, go for it. So you need more water on your brush.
More water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you see any skipping happening, you need more water.
Okay.
And then while it's still wet, if you want to darken it up a bit, you can dip.
Oh, yours is much more...
Because I'm going back and I'm adding more.
You
see?
can always add more. Okay.
You can add more while it's still wet, or when it's completely dry.
Okay.
So this is enough blue for me. I think now wipe your brush
Okay.
and then dampen it a little bit. and then go right underneath and kind of just soften that line. Because you see, wherever you stop painting,
Okay.
there's going to be kind of like water is going to kind of pool to a side and create like a harsh line. So before we go in with another color, we're kind of softening that line a bit.
With white. With
water.
With just water. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Now, let's introduce some red or like a purpley
Red.
kind of color. So
Okay.
this dark crimsonish kind of red, I think this is technically like a magenta color. We can go straight in with the red
Or
well, let's go straight in with the red. And then wipe your brush, dip back into blue, and go right on top. And something I have been doing lately,
interesting.
yeah, something I've been doing lately is using the point of my brush to my advantage when painting my sky, because you can create some movement and some texture in the sky by kind of taking maybe like a little bit of blue on the tip of your brush, kind of cutting it across with the red. And then I want to show you, I want to be completely honest, all of these paintings you see here, they all have clouds. Those clouds were happy little accidents. And so I think I'll kind of force a happy accident. You're going over the same area that, you know, was like a little wet, and you go over and you realize it was actually a little dry because things aren't moving the way you'd like them to. Like right here. What I'm gonna do is have a damp brush, no paint on it. I'm gonna just stamp.
Oh,
pick
and
up,
that creates
and you create a cloud.
Nice.
And then, so you can do that as you go, or you can do it after you quickly kind of paint a sky. But I will have my clouds get smaller and smaller as they reach the horizon. So I'm just gonna keep going. Now I'm
Oh,
gonna.
wow, that's tough to control, you know what?
So
But it's interesting.
you know what it is? You gotta clean your brush in between. You got
Yeah,
too
that's
much
what
water there.
I
You gotta
see.
use the brush to pick it up.
Okay. No, I'm creating
Try
a,
to do less swiping
and more dipping.
yeah, stamping kind of. I'm gonna go into my next color, which will be this
Yellow? Oh,
warm
orange?
orange, yeah. And this is very, very saturated compared to my other reds. So I'll go back in with a little bit of red, that darker red, and kind of bring it down a bit. Can do my, well, don't sigh.
No, I'm stressed. I'm stressed.
Don't be
That was a big
stressed.
sigh.
Just sharing. Sharing
Don't be
is caring.
stressed. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
What's stressing you out?
I tell you what, I don't feel that I control the colors and everything is like randomly happen on the.
So the thing about watercolor, I've said it once, I'll say it again. You gotta kind of lean in, accept the fact that
Trust the process?
you don't have as much control, and you gotta kind of lean into that. Leave some room at the bottom for some yellow.
Okay.
This is the last color I'm gonna add, this yellow right here. And then as I'm doing that, I'll bring some of that yellow up into the orange. Bring some of that orange into the yellow, because why not? Now I have
Oh,
all
wow.
this. Yeah, so now that my sky is painted, I'm gonna go and make a couple more clouds. I would do that darker yellow.
The darker one?
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
And then if you ever need to, if you feel your brush kind of drying, I think it looks great, by the way.
Really?
I'm not just saying that.
No.
I think
You're
you
just
can add
complimenting me.
more yellow over here to bring it to the edge.
Yeah, I kind of like it because it reminds me the pop art, street art, that nothing is like everything happens randomly, but on the other hand, I don't feel I have control to create these beautiful lines. Again, yours looks smooth. Mine looks a little bit more aggressive. I need to tone it down.
So it's all about finding the balance between water and color.
I see.
Yeah. So sometimes you'll need a lot of water to activate your color, right? If it's dry like this in the palette, you'll need a lot of water to activate it. But then the water kind of pools and you're not picking up as much pigment as you'd like. So it's that in itself, figuring out how much, like what the ratio is in your paint to water.
That's the...
That's a struggle in itself.
Okay. But
And
I like
still
it. It
struggle with
started.
It's starting.
It starts to look like sky.
It does.
Yeah.
And another thing I say all the time, everything in nature is funky, it's weird, it's organic, nothing is perfect. So same goes for sunsets and any kind of sky. While we're letting this dry, what's going on in spaces?
Yeah, I see. Carrie, this is Fort Knox, Hayley, Lord, getting this out.
Yeah, it really is.
I gotta see one of these boxes.
Huh?
I said I've got to see one of these for myself, since everybody's having trouble with it.
We opened them both, I think, unfortunately.
That's all right. I can imagine it.
Yeah, you can. Just imagine every single one of these paints individually wrapped twice.
Oh my God.
Twice. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're well preserved.
They are well preserved. These are good paints. I mean, Winsor & Newton is it's not cheap. So
Yeah, Winsor &
It's
Newton,
good.
you know, they're from London.
London.
Yeah, I met them.
You sound like
Nice
you're from
guys.
London.
Nice guys.
Yeah?
Nice guys. Yeah, I met them at the headquarters.
In London?
London, yeah. We wanted to work with them on a nice project. Might happen one day. They consider, very, very good. The quality is good. What do
I
you
think I wouldn't touch the sky.
Really?
Move on to something else, because the more you move, the more you keep trying to fix it,
Okay.
the worse it'll get.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's,
Absolutely. So watercolor teaches you patience,
Okay.
which you need desperately.
This is something that my mom tried. No luck. So you think that watercolor will?
Well, now your mother might fail. Your daughter will not. We're still not beating the father-daughter allegations here.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Again?
And then also
Okay.
things will change as it dries. You know, the color
Okay.
can change.
Yeah.
And the more water you keep putting on wet paper, this paper
Becomes
starts
mushy.
to pill, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah. I
a
got
nightmare.
it. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm patient.
All right.
I'm patient.
Let's go in and we could either paint the water or we could paint the mountains. I think let's paint.
I have the bushes. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. You do. So, okay. Let's chat for a second.
Okay.
These mountains, however you trace them, however you laid them out on your composition, you could see them as either huge mountains in the distance or some small hills pretty close by. And that can change how you paint the water. So for example, here, I'm imagining that my mountains are far away. So this water, this horizon goes way, way back. So we don't see any reflection from the mountains on my water, just the reflection of the sky. Here, it looks like it's closer, right?
Right.
Because it's reflecting on the water.
Oh, that's smart.
So you can decide and kind of change the perspective of your landscape by
Based
just
on
doing
that.
that subtle change. But I think let's go in and let's paint the mountains. I think our sky should be dry enough.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do for the mountains is we're going to pick one color and we are going to, this could be a little bit challenging for you,
Go ahead.
but it's a good practice. We are going to make it more opaque as we go down each. So
We start with the darker?
we start with the lightest.
Oh, with the lightest. Okay, cool.
So we're gonna use the same color. We're just going to add more color as we
more
go,
color. Okay, cool.
less water as we go. So let's use like the shadow color that we have in our landscape here. And that would be kind of like a bluish red. I would say let's do like a bluish kind of purple.
How do you do the purple? You just mixed.
Yeah,
red.
let's grab some of this darker red.
Okay.
Clean the brush. And let's grab some of this purple. Not purple, blue.
But you said red. Again, repeat, please.
Yep, so we're gonna make like a purple mixture.
Okay.
And we're gonna do this dark red.
Oh,
It's
you
light
mix
blue.
it on the side?
Yep.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and
And that light blue.
the light blue.
Yeah. So the idea is you want it to be kind of like
I see.
a combination of your, if there's a
there's
shadow
water.
here, the shadow will be a little blue. We got a lot of red going on in the sky.
So we start light and then we
Yep.
go darker. Okay,
So-
cool.
I think let's add in some more water. Let me see your mixture. You need more water because that's going to be very opaque.
Okay. I need a more blue. I'm good. I think I like the color. Now I need to add water.
Got to lighten it up. So I'm going to paint this first one, this one that's all the
What
way in
about
the back.
adding this? It's a valid.
It's valid. It's valid. Yeah, that's valid. It is water.
Okay. I got it. Cool.
We're going to paint this first really light wash on the hill or mountain that's most in the distance.
Still, it's dark.
No, it's actually good. When you move it, you'll see.
Really?
Yeah,
It's good?
I think it's good.
Okay.
Like mine, I think mine is even a little too light, but it's fine. I'm gonna leave it as is. It's easier to darken your watercolor after you paint. You know, layer and darken your color than it is to make it lighter. So now
It's very relaxing, by the way, the process.
it is, especially if you
No, it's
get out of
perfect
your
for
own head.
an angry guy like me.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
anger issues.
Right, you're super angry. You're terrifying. I get sick on my way to work every morning.
yeah.
I'm sick with fear.
Yeah, tell
Yeah.
them. It's a very safe space to work in.
So
Well, it-
Joanna Marie has arrived. Welcome.
Joanna Marie.
Marie,
Howdy.
where
everyone.
were
Let's
you?
create.
Not okay. First, she was late. This is
It's
not
okay. Joanna Marie can do what she wants.
Right, she's a VIP. I
And
know.
also, Carrie posted a photo of the.
Oh, hold on. I
wrapped-
want to see what she does.
Well, it's the Windsor and Newton still
Look at
wrapped.
this.
And she said, "See, Nick, not easy." They
Oh,
know
nice.
how thing. Yeah, that is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, Carrie, you're
They're
the
like
best
little
for sharing that.
chocolates.
Thank you for sharing. It
Yeah.
looks great. Nice.
Yeah, they don't wiggle on the palette thing.
Donna Marie.
Yeah.
Howdy, everyone. Let's create. Okay.
I'm happy to see.
I'm using, there is a question here.
Yeah.
I'm using a rectangular paper. Hope it works out. It's perfectly gonna work. Just make sure when the smart trace finds the surface, on the upper part it will tell you I recognize a rectangle or a square. So just make sure it does recognizes the rectangle. You can always zoom in. Just remember, use the drag, zoom in, and then you can make the whole process much. Make the image fits the. Although it's a square, you can make it perfect on a rectangle as well. Let us know if you have more questions regarding rectangle. I'm here to help with that.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
Looking good.
Looks good. So the next layer is
So
going to be darker,
Now,
right?
Yep, we're gonna try to mix the same colors.
Okay.
That's the thing when it comes to color mixing, and you're kind of darkening it as you go. It can be tricky to just make sure that you're keeping the same color. But it's also not the end of the world if it's
But
slightly
because
off.
we are adding more, it's going to be darker.
Because we're adding more paint and less water, we're not going to add much more water to this. You only add water if you need to, make the paint move a little bit. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's strange. I'm telling you, this is a foreign country for me. It's amazing.
What foreign country is it? What are you painting?
I mean, it's all this process of painting
No one got me.
and no control. It's like a literally foreign country for me. It's scary, but it looks good. I think it's okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Why? You think it's okay?
No, it is. I'm not gonna lie.
So what I will ask the honest guy in this room.
I'm pleasantly
Nick,
surprised.
Nick, please share your thoughts.
I think it's great.
No, enough with this.
I'm
guy.
pleasantly
Nick is
surprised.
It's an American way to say, hey, it's not okay.
No, I'm serious.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. I did not expect your first watercolor painting to be going this well.
I remember when we did the group Pixel. Was that watercolor or acrylic?
That was
Acrylic,
acrylic, my
acrylic.
friend.
Well, regardless, similar concept of we were doing a sky and I was making mine a sunset, and I kept adding and adding, and it got better and better and better and better, and then I added too much. And then I tried to fix it, so I had to add more, and anyways, I ended up destroying it. And what was once like a miraculous thing that happened was just like a distant memory of like, oh, I can't believe that I did this, and it's like, oh, you didn't, you ruined it.
You know what? I really like it. It actually works. Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is because
Wow.
you were patient, it's going to pay off, and it already is.
Yeah.
It almost seems like as it dries up too, it's sort of settling and sealing and becoming.
So what the most
more
important part
refined.
Nick, is I want mine to be better than hers.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind as we move forward to compliment mine and tell her that she might need to. Wow, yours is better. It's beautiful. Really beautiful.
All right.
Mine look is a little bit mushy here, but
that's
again,
a
it's still
style.
okay. It's still a style. I
It's
agree.
a style.
I agree.
I mean,
agree.
I
Really, yours kind of
personally-
looks like two octopuses shaking hands.
Mine does?
Yeah.
It really does.
Like yo, what's that?
Two
What's
little witch
poppin'?
fingers.
What's poppin'? Octopus.
So now we add even more.
Quick daps.
Tapping each other up. That I just turn it into. I just add little suctions.
A little Apple Watch.
So the next layer is
Tiffany bracelet.
even darker, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're just going to make another mixture. Add less water.
So everyone in this class, I know that they are all freak watercolor guys. They all know all these tricks. It's like a common. It's a common knowledge, or is it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're talking to someone who's learning along the way as well. So what I always share is what I find helps me. I know that when it comes to any medium, I don't know about watercolor per se. I think maybe you have a couple more like rules that people agree on, techniques that people will agree on.
Right.
But I share what works for me. I share what I've learned along the way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is necessarily common knowledge or
Yeah.
common practice rather.
But I tell you what I think from what I've learned. You know, I'm an outsider. I'm not an artist. I've never been an artist. And, you know, I studied art as part of building this company, and I interviewed hundreds of artists. And it seems that you're right, you know, they all... Well, you know what drove me crazy at the beginning?
What?
I kept asking artists, how do you blend colors? And I said, do you do it on a palette? And then I asked, you know, the stupid question, which I felt like is not appropriate. Why don't you mix the colors on the canvas and see how it goes? And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I realized that some actually do that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Till today, I mix my stuff on top of the canvas.
I don't
and
know
I give
if
it a
you.
try.
I don't think you asked me that in my interview.
Your interview was so good, so I didn't get that step.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now I walked into I was so nervous. My God. Well, this was my second interview, so it was my second time here. I had to do a studio audition, and then I had to go talk to the big boss. So I did the audition first, I think. And so I was like, okay, well, I think that's more intimidating. I had no idea what to expect meeting this guy. So I had a little bit of confidence, you know, a little bit. Came back in, I walk into his office. He's sitting, he's like this. He's got his feet up on the desk. He's like, sit down. Sit down, sit down. Oh, yeah, he's petting his cat. He's like, I got an offer you can't refuse. And I sit down, and he goes, you're not nervous. Why? Why aren't you nervous?
Right.
And I was like, I was very nervous. But
It didn't seem so.
confidence is key.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it, like with watercolor and everything. Yeah. At this point, let's let this dry. We can move on to the water in a little bit. But if you've made clouds like I did, you can absolutely leave them as is. Anyone could look at that and say that's a cloud. But if you want to make it look a little bit more
I got a storm.
busy,
I
I
got a
like
storm.
it though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even have to because it's a happy little accident what happened
Yeah.
here.
Take a look here.
So
There's a storm here. And I added, by the way, a quick tip. I said, without you knowing, I said, I'll do it. I took a very dark and I added thin line. And I said, let's see what happens later.
it works.
And take a look at the happy accident here. Now it looks like there is a dark cloud coming up from this area.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's cool.
It is cool.
You know, watercolor
Yeah.
can be cool.
It can be if you just if you learn to let it do its thing, but also
Yeah.
learn how to work with
Yeah,
these
I agree. I agree.
I don't know, these errors, for lack of a better word.
So good. I love it.
Let me show you how you can kind of spruce up your clouds a bit.
Okay.
So because we're doing a sunset, we have the dark color up here, we have the lightest color down here. So with these clouds, they're going to have a highlight kind of at the bottom and a little shadow at the top. So it's going to be the color at the top reflecting on the top of the cloud, color towards the bottom reflecting on the bottom of the cloud. So let's start with this big guy right here. I'm going to put in tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of like an orangey yellow color.
So the process now is
So
to kind of
light.
get the clouds more cloudy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so I take a very, 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 very watered down mixture of the color. In this case, I'm going to start with the highlight first, do a little bit of like a yellow, very watered down yellow at the bottom of the cloud. If you are nervous and you're liking how yours is looking,
Don't touch.
I wouldn't.
Okay. No, I'm not nervous. I wanna get the courage to do that. I wanna learn.
All right. So I'm adding like a little bit of like a highlight at the bottom of this cloud, right? I'll do the same thing on the other clouds, let that dry. As we kind of make our way down, these clouds, they could kind of change color a little bit. I'll do a little bit more yellow in this one because it's closer to the setting sun. That's far too dark, so immediately I'm just going to add more water to my brush. Just move that. I'm doing like really quick motions as well.
Nice. I think I like mine, but I think I do want to add some.
Looking good. And if you want to like darken the color at the very bottom, you can. But I think let's move on to adding some shadows into our clouds.
Okay, so how do you do
So
that?
let's use the same color mixture that we used for the mountains.
Okay. To create some
Create some shadows at the top.
okay, on the upper part of
Again,
the cloud.
super, super watered down. And then I'll kind of just clean my brush. Move it down. Add a little bit more towards the top.
Nice.
Same thing here. Maybe I'll add a little bit more red for this one because it's right underneath the red part of the sky.
It's an interesting process. You literally control nothing, but you actually do control it.
It's
in a way.
finding control. That's such a good point. It's finding control in the few ways that you can.
Yeah. I like it. It's a very interesting process.
This, you know how last week I was saying that I was getting so frustrated and I had to walk away
Yeah,
let myself
yeah.
cry for like
Right.
10 minutes because I cry all the time because it's cancer season, and I cry outside of cancer season as well because I'm a Cancer, and that's just who I am. This was the kind of painting that I was doing. So even though like landscapes, scenery, and watercolor at this point is something I'm super comfortable with, I have my days, I have my moments. So don't be discouraged if the next time you pick up your watercolor and you start to paint, it doesn't go as well. Walk away, come back to it. But every single time you paint, you're gonna learn something new.
Yeah.
I think,
I agree.
let's move on to the water.
Okay.
What do you think? Are you gonna make your, I think because you have a foreground right here, like you have some grass right here, these mountains, they can be in the distance.
Right,
So don't do
right.
any reflection in the water. Me, I don't know. Should I do a reflection in the water? Tamara, what do you think?
I think why not?
Why not? Okay. Putting you on the spot.
Also, if you want to check spaces,
Ah,
Okay.
someone posted their work so far.
all right.
Let's check it out. Oh, nice. Nice, 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 nice.
Oh, pole fly, beautiful.
Oh, fly.
Also did rectangular.
Oh, fly. Yours
paper.
looks kind of similar to mine. Looks great. You did more yellow, which is
I like the
interesting.
yellow.
Yeah, I like it. It looks good. You got some storm there.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Using my glitter koi. I haven't used those in a while. The koi, it's like a metallic glittery koi watercolor paints. I have a hard time getting really, getting opacity with those colors. Let me know, Polefly, if you're the same way, if you've had the same experience. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess the colors are always a little harder to see on camera. But I feel like in real life, too, when I'm painting with them, it's such a hard, they're beautiful paints, but it's so hard to build up the color. Maybe it's just me. Checking some comments.
These Arteza brushes are so much better. I agree,
saw
by
that,
the
yeah.
way. I agree.
Donna said, Elad, you're a natural. You are.
No, I'm not. I'm not. You know, it's first time ever. So exciting.
Carrie said, Nick, you're mean.
You mean?
I'm not sure what we're referring to. Maybe when you said that mine looked like two octopi shaking hands. All right, let's add some water.
Okay, so how
for
do we do
me,
that?
I'm not gonna lie. With this, with the reflection in the water, that's not something I've nailed. So I think, share this with you, full transparency. This I added on top of the water I had already painted. So you see the color is a little bit different. So I think what we want to do here is we want to kind of paint a reflection or a mirrored mountain, and then we'll kind of paint the rest of the water around it, or we'll just leave that area blank for water.
What about me? What
Let's
about
see.
me? What do I do?
With you.
What do I do?
What about me? What about
What
me?
about me?
So it's easy. You want to
I
create.
want to do something like that.
Okay. So where would you put a sun or a moon?
First, the sun is going to be here, I think.
Okay, because you could always add that with white paint marker or just white acrylic paint.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I bought it.
So if you want it to be here, then you want a little bit of a highlight here.
Okay.
So what I would do, if I were you, this might switch things up a little bit.
Talk to me.
Because I want to show you, we won't do a reflection in the water. I'm not going to do a reflection. I'm sorry, tomorrow. I'm not going to do one because I want Elad to see what I'm doing.
Sure.
But if anyone watching wants to see the reflection, I will work around. I'll try to make it work after painting along with him. So we want to create a mirrored sky.
Okay.
We're not going to worry about the clouds or anything like that, but we want to create like a...
So you start with the yellow, go to orange, and then the blue?
Yeah, so it's like opposite though. So blue will be here.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
But, think you have more sky than you do water.
So I need to go thin.
So
By the way,
you
I
need
have the
to-
bushes. I think I'm going to get rid of it
Why?
because then I have a very, very minimal water, right? It's a very thin water area.
That's okay.
Yeah,
It's up to you.
Okay, boss, let's move on.
All right.
I'm with you.
All right, boss. All right, so we're going to start with yellow.
Yellow, okay.
So that color that you have right at the horizon line.
Okay, you think I should go with a whiter yellow?
No, because that's kind of like a green.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool,
a
cool,
lemon yellow, has more of a green tint to it. So this one right here, we'll go, if you're nervous about mixing with your mountains, you can go a little bit beneath.
Lower?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But we'll go straight across. And you want a reflection in the water, right? So if your sun's gonna be here, skip, and then go.
Oh, so you keep it white.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I'll do the same. I'll pretend like my son's over here.
Okay.
My son. My son.
Yes, son.
Um,
Okay.
All right.
I got it.
Now
Next.
let's bring that.
Orange?
Yeah, but let's bring the yellow down a bit. You can mix in a little red as you go.
Red?
Yeah, or like this really warm red orange color.
Okay.
And then as you make your way to your highlight area, leave a little bit. And now we can really use the pointed part of our brush to our advantage for the water. As we're painting, we can create the movement in the water.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep going with this red. I'll bring it down. And you can even leave, as you're kind of painting, you see I'm leaving some area white.
Yeah.
That could be like the sun dancing on the water. It doesn't need to be a perfect, reflection, or it doesn't need to be perfectly flat
Good,
across.
that's good. And you create a circle, I mean, to create the moon? I mean, should I?
For the water,
Yeah.
I would say try to just keep, if that makes sense, just keep like a rectangle, but you see you have these the color kind of sinking in here and there. So I'm gonna move on to, I'll just do some more red because I wanna match the sky. What I'll do is over here, as I make my way to the highlight part of the water, I'll do like a couple dashes here and there where the highlight is.
What do
It's
you
kind of
think?
like cutting across. I think it's good. I think you can kind of cut into your highlight a bit. Create some movement in
create
the
some
water.
movement in the water. Cool.
Even just that tiny squiggle you just did a lot and made the sun look way more like a
Yeah.
squiggle.
Right.
Oh my God.
Looks good.
And it's just interesting because when you were first showing the samples, that's what I was most intrigued on, was how you're gonna make it like reflective and literally just like not putting anything there.
Looks good.
Your mind just fills in the
I
rest.
think
It
I'm gonna call
does.
my mom. Yeah. She's gonna be proud. Hey, mom, I listened. You won't believe. Listening is good.
And also a lot, I know you said you're thinking about taking the bushes out. I think that's really important to leave in.
I
as far
agree,
as
because
framing it.
I need something here. I'm gonna add it in freehanded.
Oh,
I
really?
need something, because it's, Nick, I always blank on this word. Vignette.
Vignette.
You wanna create like a vignette, that
Okay.
shadow around draws your attention in. So that's why even here, I've got some at the top too.
Adds
You think
so
I
much
should add
depth.
blue in some point,
So-
or I keep it this way?
Yeah, so I think at this very bottom, let's add in a little bit more blue,
Blue
because we have just a little bit of blue in
at
the
the
sky.
end. Right. Oh, I like it. Yeah, maybe I'll move to watercolor. What do you think?
Well, if your goal is to learn more, improve your skill, become an overall better artist, more creativity,
Yeah,
you'll do
definitely.
so by
Tell you what, for
exploring
me, it
other
was
mediums.
always, it was always to get. I want to paint something I will be proud of, and I can put it in my living room. That was always the goal. I want to create something that is so special that it has to go to my living room.
But what happens when you do you reach that goal?
Yeah, the
What's
problem is
even
it's
more-
getting bigger when there's no more walls in your living room.
Well, that's the problem is a you problem, I think. If I'm being so honest.
No, I'm actually I agree with you. So I moved on from that point, and now I want to try new things. Like you taught me about the gold. I added the gold leaves, which I was really excited about.
I got something real quick.
Yeah.
Since I have more water to work with, I want to kind of change. Like, this is great. This is perfect. Don't touch it. Do
Okay.
not touch it.
Okay.
I think maybe add more blue down here, if anything.
Okay.
I want to kind of create the appearance of like perspective, right? So obviously, if I have a sun right here, the sun is going to be the brightest towards the horizon line, and it's going to get smaller and smaller as we reach the foreground. So I'm gonna go in with some of my darker colors, my colors towards the bottom here, and I'm going to cut this section more. So it's almost going to kind of become like a triangle that slowly gets smaller and smaller.
Nick, so how was your interview with me? As bad as hers?
It was really great, actually. I remember
We were in a restaurant, right?
we were in a restaurant.
Yeah, I did not get wined and dined.
Right. He got a
Cleveland
restaurant.
Circle. That was great. That was the first time I had that kind of food too.
Right.
And
Right.
it was
I taught you about
incredible.
falafel.
You got like so much of it, just so many different things. Like, oh, we'll just try everything. And I remember I hugged you when I met you, and I felt like I already knew you. That's a
Wow.
weird thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just felt so comfortable with you and Shirley immediately, and yeah, we spent a lot of time there, like a couple
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, it was great.
And I just gave you my
I
honest
felt you're the
thoughts
right
on
person
app
for us,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yours looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, the red is aggressive. You know, it's so different. We ended up with so much.
I know. This is why I love these. This is why you got to join me for more.
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, I think I'll join more. Actually, I always watch it, you know, in my kitchen or my office. I should just join you.
You should.
Gary said I'm being a super loose booba tonight. Oops.
And Lana was saying he could not wait for that.
Cuckoo and boo boo. Cuckoo and boo boo. Cuckoo and boo boo.
No, that's great. That's great. You don't want to be kiki with watercolor.
Yeah, I know.
And you're not being, you're being very boo-boo. It's good.
I'm good.
No cuckoo, no boo.
Wow, it looks
So
good, huh, Nick?
Yeah.
It does. It does.
All right. Let's add some greenery in the front, shall we?
Okay, so I have
But
the
for
I have
you-
the I have the bushes here, right?
Yeah. So you're gonna want to wait until this dries a bit.
Okay.
But because it's a sunset, because that color gets darker in the water as you appear here, the sun is all the way back there. This is gonna be a silhouette. We're gonna be working with mostly black. Now you notice that you don't have any black in this palette, so we're gonna have to make black. We
We're gonna
could,
make black.
yep. And so you can work off your previous purple mixture. I will as well. Create a nice purple, and then you can add in one of these browns. Let me show you.
Okay, so brown with this will create the.
And then if it becomes too warm looking, like that's too blue. So I know maybe I need more red. Now that's too red. So now I know maybe a little bit more blue and brown.
Haley, do you think you could put the palette above
Yep.
or below the
Yep.
art? Okay.
So what
How's
do we do
this?
here?
That's
We
perfect.
try to create. We
Like
try
a-
to get black
So we're trying to create black
from brown.
from brown, blue, red.
Okay.
And if it looks a little bit more purple, that's okay. Like this is fine. This is a good mixture. No, you're adding too much brown now. So wipe your brush,
Okay.
dip into that dark blue, mix it in.
Yeah.
And now I'd just add a little bit more
What?
blue and red, just a little bit more.
Blue.
No, actually,
No, it looks good.
yeah, it looks good. But the thing about this is we want to have more of an opaque mixture.
Okay.
So less water, more pigment. So you might have to mix as you go.
This is more pale pen. Yeah, I think I'm ready. No, it's a dark blue. It's okay? I should add more brown.
Add a little bit more red. Nope.
Red?
Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So now
Okay.
I'll kind of pretend like I have a similar thing going on here, but let's create some like grass. Okay?
Okay.
So let's jump right in. You can kind of paint this one area. Okay?
Okay.
See, this is why you need a lot of less water, more color.
But how do I create this shape? I mean how do I create the
Let's actually
feel that it's bushes?
let's paint. Let's work quickly. Let's paint all of that.
Okay, I'm doing it as quickly as possible.
All right. Ready?
I'm doing as fast as I can.
Well, do you want to see? Do you want to watch?
I'll watch for a
So
second.
as this is still wet, you can move that color up
Oh, nice.
and do quick little flicks in different directions. Gonna have some coming off the side. My grass looks very red. That's okay. So Tamar, between this and last week's live, the one that Alad led, what kind of artwork do you prefer?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not the best artist, but I would definitely say watercolor and just like painting in general.
Oh, you go high.
Easier.
Yeah, you don't have to go that high. I think, honestly, going that high is, it might be more difficult to fill in that space because, oh, yours is great.
What do you mean great? It looks like
Well, yours looks like it's more in the distance.
right.
Mine looks like it's very up close, so I feel the need to make it a bit bigger. But you see the thing about that is, do you notice this right here?
Yeah.
That's because it dried a little bit. I want it to look like it's all kind of growing from the same place. Sorry, Tamara, I asked you a question and completely moved on from you. I always ask Nick what he prefers to see kind of like come to life, but it's hard to compare because between this
Two
week and
different
last week is
styles, yeah.
so different. Well, Nick, I can't ask you because you weren't there. You weren't here last week.
This is true. But you know I'm a sucker for sunsets, so probably,
That's true.
Probably this one.
Do you know, I wanted to say this earlier because you said you were so angry.
Me angry?
Yeah, and we were talking about how this working here at Cupixel is so unsafe, and it's funny because you were saying like this is relaxing, it's good for an angry guy like me. Do you know that's why Bob Ross got into painting?
Oh, really?
Do you know Bob Ross was actually a very angry, very aggressive man because he was a high rank in the military, I believe,
Yeah.
and he would scream all day. And then when he left, he vowed to never raise his voice again. Got into painting, and that's where you see the happy accident.
Tell you a good story. When we founded the company, I approached his son
Yeah.
and I asked him to come and paint with us, but he couldn't come. And then he couldn't, couldn't join because of some health problems. He's not near Boston, and I'm still in touch with him. Every once in a while, asking him come and paint with us. Hopefully one day.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because he's taken over, right? He's a
Yeah, he
painter
took
as well.
over. He did some classes and some shows, but I don't know if he's active anymore. I don't like it. I don't know why.
Why?
Bob
It
Ross
looks
is
like
such a
more
legend.
of a fence than.
You know what I think it is? I
What?
think you can let it dry and then add like another layer of grass.
Okay,
So it looks like that grass is in the distance,
but there's.
and then you have more grass in the front, kind of more like this.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Now, I just don't like how I'm seeing the separation between my blades of grass and my shadow. So I think I'll have to go over, maybe I'll have to do the same thing, just on a much smaller scale. Let it dry and then go back in and kind of just cut. But this is, I think, definitely, and yours as well, good enough as it is for now.
Yeah, you
Let
think?
it dry, and then you can repeat that process and layer some more.
Interesting.
It is 7
but it
o'clock.
looks good.
I think it looks great. I think if you want to add any more up here at the top, you can add a palm
Oh,
tree.
someone just shared. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Still pretty wet. Coppercat shared. No, it looks good.
I love the clouds.
Yeah, the
Coppercat.
clouds looks. Cloud looks good.
And what's
Beautiful.
nice is that, I mean, as always, this will be up in the app tomorrow on demand. So if you missed anything or if your paints just took so long to unwrap,
Carrie
and you
said,
fell a little
Elad,
behind.
yours looks better than mine. Carrie, just keep in mind, I'm in competition with Hayley, not with you. This is a very well-known competition in this company. I always, I say, when I grow up, I want to be Hayley.
That brings me to a nice point. This is why I really wanted Elad to join, because, and I think this is just what makes it so special. I say this all the time, and this is why I love when you guys share on Spaces. But it's a beautiful thing to see two people
Right.
or more than one person follow the same exact steps, the same
Totally different
same
artworks.
advice, two completely different outcomes, no matter what.
Right.
And if I were to do this again and follow my own advice, my own instruction,
Right.
it won't look like this. I guarantee it.
Right.
So I think that's just the beauty of art, the beauty of creativity, the subtle differences in everyone's creation. And we all learn something. We all learn something
I love it.
different
I agree.
from
I
each
agree.
other.
No, this is a very interesting experience for me. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I couldn't imagine.
Wow, look at Carrie's.
Oh, nice.
Very, very vibrant.
Yeah.
Carrie, I don't know if I agree. I think you're putting a lad to shame.
Yeah, I
No, it's beautiful. It's so different. Again, it's so different. The colors are so vibrant. It's beautiful. And I don't think it's a mess. And if you had fun, that's all that matters, if you ask me.
I'm still struggling with the grass.
Oh my God, I just noticed the cat on pole flying. Because I was looking at the comments. Beautiful. I love your little helper too, Joanna Marie said. I'm like, who's the helper? And I see Shirley said, I love how the cat is looking at the artwork. Oh, so cute. I want a cat so bad.
Wow. I'm excited, but I will have to work on the grass. I'm not happy.
Well, that's
It looks
you
like
need to, you're not
I need
being
to let
patient.
it dry. Oh, okay,
You're not being patient.
Right.
I'm not being patient.
Take a deep
You see
breath.
what happened?
Yeah.
We gotta be patient. We gotta let it dry.
We
then
get it
we
dry
can
and then come
layer.
back to it.
Yeah, then we can
Okay.
layer. But let me see. Oh, Shirley said, hey guys, hello. Just catching up on comments. I'm 7 years late.
Yeah, wow. Nick, what do you think?
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's interesting how it turned out to be, my first watercolor. Kind of cool.
I think it's great. I'm pleasantly very surprised.
Yeah.
Totally honest.
It's fun.
I'm a good teacher.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm not a good student, man. It's that's a great thing to know that it's actually doable. It's
Do you
amazing.
know the first? I'll end with a story before we close out, and also give you all the opportunity to share on Spaces if you haven't already. It doesn't have to be finished if you are comfortable sharing your progress.
Nice.
Amazing, but just know you can always share tomorrow when this is up as a replay. But full transparency, my first time teaching art was at it was fresh out of college. I had experience teaching makeup. I taught makeup classes. But no experience teaching art. Studied art degree, whatever. Had to teach watercolor. Didn't know a thing about watercolor. But guess what? My students were children. They were little kids. They'd come after school. It was 2 young boys. One was like 7 and the other one was like 8. They were very talented artists, but their parents wanted them to learn watercolor. So I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll teach them watercolor. Fake it till you make it, okay? What I would do, and I should have done the same thing with you, I would give them a task, and they'd be so excited and they couldn't focus, and their parents would get mad at me. So I would say, finish this one part, then you can paint on my nose. So next time you jump ahead of me, I'll say,
Stop.
You can paint on my nose if you want. Just do this first, or just wait. If you wait 30 seconds, you can paint on my nose.
Actually, all the colors are changing. I really like it's interesting, when I do the pop art and the street art stuff, I like to let it dry and then come back to the artwork the day after with some more ideas. And I think here, it's actually after minutes, it changes completely.
It does.
It's interesting,
sure.
You see the
it's
water.
all sort of settling in.
Yeah. Take a look at the water here.
It continues to blend.
It is like perfect, and you see the waves. And I didn't mean to make waves, but it created waves.
A happy accident.
And I think this is also where if you went too bold before now, it would really start. You'd start regretting it maybe more because everything would start to. You get less blend.
Right. So Nick, that's our usual question. Every time I finish an artwork, I call Nick and ask him. So what's
the vibe?
What's the vibe? What's the date?
You never do landscaping. You never do watercolor. But this reminds me of an Ansel Adams photo, but with color.
Oh.
So like an old landscape. Yeah, I'm seeing like bugs, like kind of muggy near the river. Summer sunset.
All right, how about mine? Because it's a different vibe for sure. Curious.
Well, it's similar actually. I'm seeing more like the same place, to be honest.
Yeah?
Just maybe like a little cooler. Yeah, his looks more dried out because the grass is like scraggly. Where yours has longer grass, but it's not like tropical like you had done before.
Yeah.
By the way, the frame is insane.
Oh, I know.
It adds a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. It looks good.
I think we got
Yeah.
a new
I got a new one.
a new watercolor
Expert. Expert.
artist.
That's
where
cool.
it just keeps getting more vibrant.
It's getting better and better.
Darker and darker.
Yeah, I don't need to touch.
Don't touch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back, look at it tomorrow. We'll leave our paintings together. Come back tomorrow, we'll look at it. But I want to say...
I really enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
You.
Thank you all for joining us. I know today was a little bit different. This week's live was on Tuesday instead of Thursday for the 4th of July. So we appreciate those of you who made the effort to show up and create with us. As always, I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Don't forget to share on Spaces. If you haven't had the chance tonight, you can share tomorrow. Give us one last check and see.
Hayley,
wow,
Carrie's asked you a question at the end.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, we have a newcomer.
Post. Oh.
Really quick. Creative Visionary _107118. Beautiful landscape and shared first time with you all. Lots of fun. I hope this is the first of many.
Wow.
Thank you so much for joining, and I'm so glad that you enjoyed your first
Yeah,
first live with
creative
us.
visionary. I don't know if that's your name. You can always change it to a cool nickname, although this one is 107118. It is so good.
It's
wow.
beautiful. Stunning. Thank you so much for sharing. and
Yeah, it
thanks
looks
for-
amazing.
Thanks for tuning in for the first time. I hope to see you again next Tuesday for our next live.
Coppercat got it in. She got
Someone
some
said,
red.
don't like the bottom at all. Is it the grass that you don't like or the water? I think it looks great. Let me know. If
what I
you're
think you
talking
need to
about the
settle.
bottom, I gotta be honest, I don't like the bottom of mine either. And I think it's a matter of getting enough of a opacity, a strong enough opacity in that dark shadow color, and also at the same time
So you
keeping
recommend
the
her
paint.
to make it darker?
Yeah, but at the same time, this is where it's a struggle. I hear you. I feel I'm leveling with you here. I hear you. You want to have your paint be wet enough so that you could quickly cover that area and then easily make those blades of grass just kind of seamlessly grow from that wet paint. But you also want it to be dark enough that it covers everything and it looks like a silhouette. So I hear you. I think, yeah, I think it comes down to a ratio between water and color.
Interesting.
That's what I would say.
I let it dry.
I'm
so
gonna experiment some more
I
because
actually didn't like it before. Now it's okay. I don't
like
know.
it.
Yeah, it's nice. I think I need to add some.
Come back to it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna add some long ones.
It could be that this whole thing could be land in the distance, and then you could do a couple from the corners, a couple
Right.
blades of grass.
Right.
And then and Coppercat, you could do the same. I don't think it looks bad at all. But I am seeing where you're coming from because I feel I have the same opinion about mine. So try that out.
Look at wow.
Wow. Pole fly, beautiful.
Yeah.
So working on it has to dry more. Yes, my little kitty's 16 years old and he just likes to cuddle and supervise. I love him. And I love your artwork. I love
looks good.
love the colors.
Her water
Beautiful.
are blue. You see, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's actually, you see the reflection that
Yes,
she
you have
created?
the reflection.
The reflection is perfect.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, stunning.
So
Thank you
great.
everyone for sharing and thank you everyone for joining.
Donna Marie says, Happy 4th. Happy 4th, my dear. It looks great.
Happy 4th. One last question from Carrie. Hayley, did you decide what to put on your street art? I still can't decide. I think I have an idea, and
Yeah,
I talked to a lot about it.
Yeah,
I'll share it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll share it tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
we have
I'll
a
share it
fun
tomorrow.
idea about
Yeah.
a new pop art, street art kind of cool style. We're working on it.
Yeah.
And we're going to share soon.
Yeah, so I'll share, once that's done, I'll share to that live replay in the spaces. You can see what I did. But I think this is a good spot to close.
Yeah.
I want to say
I
thanks
just
again.
want to say
Nick, thank you
before-
so much for spending time with us, buddy.
Of course.
And
It's
tomorrow.
My pleasure. I just want to remind everyone on this Tuesday at 2 p.m. is our creative break. We're going to do some watercolor clouds. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So we'll dive into this a little bit more.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep.
And then the following Thursday, the Thursday after that, so the 11th at 6, where we're going to be doing pet Polaroids, which I think will be
Yes.
super exciting. Pole flight, maybe you can get your cat into the artwork.
Oh, I
And
would love
they can watch you create it.
And a very interesting thing, we are about to release a new version that's gonna blow your mind, completely blow your mind. We are redesigning the home screen with new exciting features.
can't wait for
I'm
this
gonna
one,
talk
yeah.
about it.
it more
I'm gonna
dynamic.
record. Yeah, it's gonna be astonishing. It's our designers worked on it for quite some times. We're working on it for a long time, and it's up and running. We're doing last QAs tonight, and we're gonna release it probably tomorrow, the day after. You're gonna update it, and it's gonna blow your mind. Get ready.
Get ready. Have a happy
4th.
and safe 4th of July and a nice long weekend, hopefully. And
Yeah.
we will see you next week.
Can't wait, guys. Thank you for having me in this watercolor class.
My pleasure. See you guys.
See you guys. Bye bye.